Good evening, everybody. I am calling the January 8th meeting of the New Rochelle Board of Trustees to order. It is 7:30 p.m. There is an attendance sheet that is going around. It should be back. And we have a quorum of the board, and so we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do not have an executive session this evening, and I want to make a motion to adopt the meeting agenda with one change. Prior to the approval of minutes, we will provide the oath of office to our new treasurer and then ask him to take a seat up here with us at the table after he is sworn in. So with that change, that would be between numbers, what is currently number 6 and between what is currently numbers 5 and 6 of the agenda. So I am making a motion to adopt the meeting agenda with a noted change for the addition of the oath of office for the new treasurer. May I get a second? Seconded by Corey Galloway. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, and with that, I would like to invite our new treasurer, Toussaint Gavin. Gauvin? Up here, so we can give the oath of office. And if you Okay, I, Toussaint Gavin, solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York. I will support the Constitution of the United States. And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of president. I will faithfully discharge according to the best of my ability. This day, January 8th. So we get a picture of everybody. Yes. For the flag. Yep. There you go. Sorry.
One, two. Got it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Great, thank you.
No one's more excited than your chief.
Wonderful. And moving on, I would like to turn it over to my colleague, the Secretary, Rhiannon Navin, for approval of the minutes.
Yes, the minutes from the December 11th board meeting were shared with the board ahead of time, and so I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the December 11th board meeting.
Can we get a second on that? Seconded by Vera. Any questions or concerns, comments? Hearing none, we'll do a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. And the January 2nd.
Yep,
special-
and then we had a special board meeting on January 2nd. The minutes were shared ahead of time, so I will make a motion to approve the minutes of the January 2nd special board meeting.
Great. Can we get a second on the minutes from the January 2nd, 2026 special board meeting? Seconded by Corey Galloway. Any questions, concerns, or discussions? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, and we are moving on to regular business with our report from our Westchester Library System Representative, David Menor. Happy New Year, David.
Happy New Year. We were on winter recess for December, so no new updates.
Short, sweet, and
Short
to
and
the
sweet.
point. Right. I have just a short presence report and just a note a happy new year to everyone in the community. As we begin 2026, I just want to thank again the dedicated staff of the New Rochelle Public Library, the volunteers, and the community for the many ways that you all make the library a very special place of connection, learning, and belonging. This new year brings kind of fresh opportunities to continue to strengthen our services and deepen our impact in New Rochelle. And I'm excited about what we're going to accomplish together. There's a lot of work that's going to be done, and I am looking forward to seeing it through to fruition. So on behalf of our Board of Trustees and our director, I would just like to wish the community the very best for 2026. Please always remember to check out the New Rochelle Public Library website for the list of classes and programs and opportunities available at the library, or come in, browse, check out a book. Again, there is a lot of work and wonderful progress ahead for us this year. And I look forward to working together with our friends of New Rochelle Public Library, with our New Rochelle Public Library Foundation, with city officials and community members toward another year of shared purpose and possibility for the library. So thank you all. With that, I will move on to the director's report and Eugenia.
Thank you so much. My director's report primarily focused on the new initiative to expand notary services at the library. So we're very excited that as part of our ongoing commitment to meet the evolving needs of the community, that we're going to allow staff members voluntarily to become licensed notaries. It's really a vital civic service. And the hours of operation of the library lend themselves to being able to offer notary services, ideally perhaps 7 days a week. So under this initiative, the library is going to cover the costs associated with becoming a notary for staff members. And we had an initial email that went out to staff to see who was interested in volunteering, and we had wonderful responses throughout all of the departments in the library. And we're going to be scheduling a follow-up meeting to really plan out implementation. But it's part of our broader mission. We're looking to be responsive, accessible, a trusted community resource. And one of my personal goals is really to look at ways in which we can expand our services and offerings to the community. So very excited about that. The other piece of news that I received that I wanted to share with the board was I was just notified that I was appointed to the City of New Rochelle's 250th Anniversary Celebration Committee. So I'm one of 13 members. The committee was formally established by the City Council to plan and coordinate the city's recognition of the nation's semi-quincentennial. And the goal is to recognize New Rochelle's important role in the founding of the country and to create commemorative activities that reflect the city's history, diversity, and civic spirit. And my term already began, and I also will be filing a similar oath of office and runs through December 31st, 2026.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Eugenia, on this. I think that's just another way to note how important your role has been in the library and in the community. So thank you for that. And also, it's fairly exciting for us to note that there is an increase in the notary services. That's just a service that's provided to the community that is so popular and in great need and demand. So that's a wonderful addition. So thank you for that. The next is our treasurer's report. We realize that this is your first meeting, and so we're not expecting a report, but we give the floor to you. If you'd like to say any words, just on.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Toussaint Govan. I just want to thank the board for this opportunity. I'm really excited in this opportunity as the library becomes its own entity, and I'm just happy to assist moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, and we look forward to your coming reports in the future meetings. Thank you, and welcome. We're very, very happy.
Thank you.
We're now moving on to our board committee reports, and we'll start with the Budget and Finance Committee and Rhiannon.
The Finance Committee met on December 17th at 8:30. We discussed the upcoming budget process preparation. We've launched fully into that, and we are going to have a number of meetings coming up. The first one will be a meeting with our vendor Calgi, who is preparing a cost estimate for the potential bond that we're considering, an infrastructure bond, for May. And so we'll be meeting with Calgi on January 21st. Then the committee will meet again next for a general committee meeting on January 8th at 8:30. This will be a longer meeting where we will be reviewing the preliminary audit report. And we will also review a first draft of the 26-27 budget that's currently being prepared. There will be follow-up meetings to refine the budget. They will be held on February 4th and 11th at 8:30 each. And then there will be a full board retreat at the end of February, where the full board will receive the final audit report, and we'll have a chance to review it and ask questions. And so that is our roadmap. We're very excited to have Toussaint on board. He's continuing to kind of dig in and familiarize himself with the library's finances and the transition that we're currently going through. He's evaluating the software that we're working with, school system vision. And he will be able to keep the finance and budget committee abreast on his progress. And I did mention the bond, the infrastructure bond that we are considering, that we're working on to get costs with Calgi. And we are in close collaboration with the school district on that. We're working on an MOU between the library and the school district and bond company. And so we will have another update on that at the next board meeting.
Great. Thank you, Rhiannon. Any questions? Rhiannon, rather than Dave? Okay. Moving on for buildings and grounds for Corey.
Okay, thank you. Building and grounds met January 2nd, 8:30 a.m. Start the new year off. What we discussed, backing up what Rhiannon discussed, is the library bond and current estimates. As the Chair Eugenia and I had the initial conversation with Calgio giving us a takeoff. And we had some notes there coming back to the bigger committee to give a more fine-tuned number. Next, we had the AIA contract, which we just received from our legal today from Lathrop on them looking at the entire space of the library that marries to the library bond and what we're requesting the work to be done. Those go hand in hand. Next, we had a floor and space planning meeting, which really we concentrated on with the friends on the basement as we look to shore up how that space is being used and also to plan for the future of what are the things we can do with that space as it makes up a large part of usage that we could give to the community. Last thing is obviously working very closely with the foundation, who's been a great partner with us. We had our expenses paid by the foundation to close out the opera grant, which had a deadline of 12/31/2025. That was done with the assistance of Rod and Stephanie. And our next follow-up is just working closely with the finance committee on making sure that our estimates are in tune and we're working on what the budget, the bond request would be. And that is it for the buildings and grounds. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. Moving on to, sorry, any questions related to Corey's update? Nope. Okay. Moving on to community relations and Vera.
The Community Relations Committee did not meet in December. Our next meeting is on January 26th.
Okay. Thank you, Vera. The Personnel Committee that is led by Tatiana Infante, she is not here this evening, so we will not have a report out for the Personnel Committee. However, I will make a motion for approval of the consent agenda for personnel resolutions. And so I am asking for the board to approve the personnel resolutions. The number is 202601, 1 through 8, according to the recommended action for each item and each individual listed. May I get a second for this motion?
Second.
Seconded by Rhiannon. Any questions or concerns with regard to that? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. And then we'll move on to the Policy Committee and Bilal.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. The Policy Committee met on Monday, January the 5th, at 10 a.m. That was a change. Our next meeting is we're returning back to 9 a.m. starting Monday, February 2nd, and all the following meetings will take place the first Monday of the month at 9 a.m. I would like to start off by just noting that the Policy Committee was very active last year, and I'd like to thank all of the members of the Policy Committee for all of the work that was done. We passed some really important pieces of policy, including an immigration authority and law enforcement visits, and requests for documents policy, whistleblower protection, family medical leave, trustee education, and so forth. Our board president was really integral in the revision to our bylaws. And that's one of the things that I've noticed a lot with our committee is that each member is really incredibly engaged and helpful, including our director, Eugenia, and as well as I'm very pleased to state that we also get some of the policy that was passed, like the teen room policy specifically, and the panic button policy. These are things that were coming from groups within the library, whether that be the workplace violence prevention working group or the teen room staff. So it's great to partner and to, again, address policy needs and to shore that up. I think I might have mentioned this last month, but we're also, the committee is in the process of reviewing past policies and seeing which ones need to be reviewed and which ones we will then be moving either moving forward with or making amendments to. That being said, there are two pieces of policy, and they're actually statements that the board has adopted in 2009. And as Eugenia, as our director mentioned, the 250th anniversary of our country, I just want to note that these two pieces of policy feel very much in the spirit of New Rochelle and very much in the spirit of celebrating our independence. The first piece of, I keep saying policy because this is the policy committee, but really they are statements. The first one is the freedom to read. The second one is the freedom to view. Both of these statements were adopted by the ALA, by the American Library Association, and libraries throughout the country have made sure that we are the keepers of this most protected freedom for Americans to be able to read and to be able to view items. So with that, I guess it's going to have to go one by one, even I can do both at the same time. Thank you. I just would like I'd like to make a motion that the board reaffirm our commitment to adopting the freedom to read statement and the freedom to view statement.
Great, thank you. May I get a second on Falah's motion for the board to reaffirm its adoption of the American Library Association's freedom to read and freedom to view statements?
Second.
Seconded by Vera. Any questions, concerns, or discussion? Great. Hearing none, I will call for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Resounding aye. Any opposed? No. Okay. Philip, thank you for doing this work and raising this again. These are very important statements to be reminded of now and always.
Thank you.
I will turn it back to Rhiannon Navin for approval of checks and warrants.
I have in front of the consent agenda for checks and warrants for the fiscal year 2025-2026. Warrants number 23, 24, 25, and 26. So I would like to make a motion to approve this consent agenda.
Okay, we've got a motion on the floor to approve the consent agenda for warrants 023 to 026. Do I have a second? Seconded by Corey Galloway. Any questions, concerns, or discussions with regard to the warrants? All right, I'll call for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. Great, thank you all. Are there any resolutions that did not come up during committee reports that we need to know about? Hearing none, we'll move on. I do not believe that there is any old business. And is there any new business? Discuss. Okay, then we move on to the public comment section of our meeting. I think that we have Thank you. Per our policy on public comments during the monthly board meetings, the public has an opportunity to make a statement to the board for no more than 3 minutes. Thank you for those who have signed up. And the first person is Barbara Davis with, please just provide your address when you come up to speak and the topic for which you are speaking. Yeah, the time limit is 3 minutes. Okay, so when you start, Barbara, I will start the timer.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you all for your service on the Board of Directors of the library. As the former, by the way, I should have said Barbara Davis, 50 Disbrow Lane, New Rochelle, New York. Again, thank you. And as the former Community Relations Coordinator and a 40-year supporter of the library, I'm compelled to share with you a little bit of history about the Friends of the New Rochelle Public Library. We are so very fortunate to have two fundraising arms for the library: the foundation, which began in 1993 and assists with what I've always called the big ticket items, and the Friends of the Library, which has been more than a fundraising mainstay in this building since it first opened in 1978. It has been an unfailing pillar of support and advocacy. In the last 10 years alone, this group has provided the library tens of thousands of volunteer hours and $750,000 for programs and special projects not funded by the library's operating budget. The programming schedule at this library is the envy of all the libraries in the county and the state, and maybe even the country. And it's largely made possible by the Friends. The projects are way too numerous to mention tonight, but a few of my favorites: the bicentennial quilt out in the lobby. The Friends paid for its restoration. They paid for the restoration of photographic plates of fallen World War I soldiers that were in the possession of the library. They paid for the restoration of special, very important, significant paintings by major artists. These are just a few of the local history projects, and it goes on and on. During Hurricane Sandy, we were just inundated here with people looking for electric outlets to recharge. The Friends gave us cash to go out and buy the power strips at the only store that was open. No credit line there. During the pandemic, it was the Friends who gave us money for the bereavement books that we were able to give to the school for the children who had lost family members. Every time they were asked, the Friends said yes. The money was always readily available. To make this money, the Friends also serve an incredibly important role by keeping books alive. They recycle them. And those few cents, 25 cents, up to maybe $2.50, $4, all those books add up to the $750,000 that they were able to give over the last 10 years. The Friends also raised the money to build the space. Can I have 30 seconds more?
30 seconds.
And they raised the money to build the space for the bookstore, and they work hard to keep that bookstore going. But nobody works as hard as its current president, Amy Teets, who has worked as the president for over 20 years. And in that time, she has devoted no less than 75,600 hours of volunteer time. She has also managed the money judiciously, and she is the best cheerleader for this institution going around. Hundreds of New Rochelians have made charitable cash contributions. I made my contribution in 2025, knowing that it was going to go to critical programs in 2026. We
Barbara.
all know that change is good.
Barbara, I'm sorry. It's 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and we did give 3. Well, it is a time, but
Email you my comments.
thank you.
If you
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that, and I appreciate the history, especially as a historian of New Rochelle. Thank you. The next person to speak is Stephanie Tomei, and it is the New Rochelle Public Library Foundation. And just a reminder, it is a 3-minute limit.
Thank you. I am Stephanie Tomei, co-president of the foundation here at the library. I reside at 70 Avonmore Drive in New Rochelle. On behalf of the Library Foundation, we really just wanted to wish everyone a very happy new year and to express our continued enthusiasm to work to fundraise and advocate for our wonderful library. And we also are deeply grateful to our trustees who serve as well for this incredible institution. Along with our fundraising colleagues, the Friends, we are dedicated to supporting the library in creating opportunities and experiences for the many people who use and love our library. And as Barbara said, this library is really fortunate to have two strong fundraising partners, and we're happy to be part of that. Since your meetings are public, we would like to take this opportunity to speak to the public just to announce that we are not holding a gala this year, which is kind of a diversion from the norm. And so I wanted to just get that on record. Instead, we are focusing our efforts on two targeted fundraising campaigns. Now, the first is one that has been discussed publicly at these meetings, and it supports the children's programs, the children's garden at the main branch of the library. As Corey explained earlier, sort of the hardscape for this project was a $250,000 ARPA grant that the foundation secured. And now what we're working on is sort of all the special features, the frosting that will make this space a unique environment where children can learn, explore, and grow across multiple areas, including literacy, science. They'll learn about native plants, there'll be movement, arts and crafts, and so forth. The second initiative that I'm excited to announce is enhancements for the Bliss Music Center up on the third floor through the creation of two standalone soundproof music practice rooms. These spaces will allow community members, from beginner musicians to professional musicians, to reserve practice time as part of their library experience. We are reaching out to our donor base, and we invite the broader public to join us to support either of these campaigns, the Children's Garden or the Practice Pods, to help our library shine even brighter this year. Lastly, we are also looking to engage the public about our wonderful Huguenot Children's Library just up the road. We are looking to create a community group of those folks who would like to focus their energies on improving and supporting our county's only freestanding children's library. So for updates and opportunities to get involved on these campaigns and the Children's Library Committee, please visit our website and follow us on social media because there's a lot of new information to come in the coming weeks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephanie. Do we have any additional comments for the public? Okay. Hearing none, I will make a motion to adjourn our January 8th meeting of the New Rochelle Board of Trustees. May I get a second?
Second.
By Falah?
Yes.
Seconded by Falah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. That brings us to the end of our meeting. It is 8:04 p.m. I thank everybody for coming, and I thank the public for joining us.